Hello, my name is Sofia Bedova. I am lecturer of international business, and today we discuss basis of functioning of international companies. The purpose of our lesson is to consider the management and operation of international companies. Today we have three questions. First one is concept and types of international companies. Second one is evolution of the transition of a national company into an international one. And third is features of function of MNC in modern conditions and form of management organization of international companies. Key concepts today are international company, joint ventures, multinational companies, MNCs, macro pyramid, interglomerates, and the umbrella structure. Okay, let me start. First question is concept and types of international companies. International companies are the organizations which are carrying out export of the national capital abroad for the purpose of its use and implementation of business activity in other countries. The vast majority of modern international companies are multinational corporations, and their popular organization form is the concern. They are significantly different from their predecessors, simple associations of capital of different countries, like cartels, syndicates, trusts, whose members remain the owners of their capital. In contrast, a typical 21st century concern is a single owner of capital, usually diversified across industries and regions. Modern international companies can be transnational, it means having their own nationality, or multinational. Transnational corporations are a system of enterprises that includes the parent company, which usually determines the national of TNC, and its foreign affiliates. The parent company controls the assets of its foreign subsidiaries in other countries and usually owns a share of the capital in them. In multinational companies, there are unification of capital of different nations. The first multinational company, Unilever, was founded in 1929 by the merger of Margarine Uni from Denmark and Lever Brothers from Great Britain. Since then, it has grown to one of the largest international companies with more than 500 overseas subsidiaries in nearly 60 countries. Unilever has two headquarters, one in London and one in Rotterdam. There are many options for systematization of international companies built on the following basis: goods, market, assets, and management. Classification of models of international companies developed by Bartlett and Ghosal presented in the table. There are four types of company: multinational, global, international, and transnational. So there are some characteristics, and you can see the differences between these types of company. Yeah. Okay. Second question is evaluation of the transition of a national company into an international one. There are three main incentives for national companies to become international. First one is increase in trade and therefore profit. In this case, the company has the ability to increase production capacity and use the economies of scale. In addition, it can use links with foreign partners to share risks. Second reason is reduce production and marketing costs through cheaper raw materials and labor in the host country. In addition, the expansion of markets and opportunities for the acquisition of new and effective technologies through the formation of joint ventures with local enterprises. And third one is used to industry, the credit and financial system, sales channels, and host country infrastructure. Typical for many international companies has become a certain sequence of their foreign economic activities on the way from the national company to a transnational cooperation. The first stage is contractual relation between partners from different countries, expressed in a one-time export-import transaction. At this stage, the partners still do not know enough about each other's financial capabilities, research and production potential, and business style. The conclusion of long-term contracts for 2 years or more can serve as an indicator of the further expansion and deepening of relation between partners from different countries on the way to the second stage. In some cases, such contracts provide for the export of capital in the form of loans, the supply of equipment, the transfer of technology, as well as scientific and technical cooperation. The next stage of the partnership, foreign direct investments, licensing agreements, consortia, temporary associations of participants related confidential agreements to achieve certain goals, most often for joint performances in the foreign market. At this stage, partners from different countries evaluated each other, convinced of each other's reliability and the feasibility of continued business contracts. Signing of license agreements, exchange of technologies, international scientific and technical cooperation allow it to use the production, commercial, research potential of each other. At the same time, licensing agreements are widely used as a tool for technology exchange, barter and compensation transaction maybe. Joint presentation with third country goods and services in consortia allow partners to offer a wider range of disparate products and complete equipment, to distribute risks among themselves, to expand opportunities for the development of new markets, to exchange technologies and know-how on a mutual basis, and to provide the necessary financing for their activities by pooling financial resources. Small companies that do not have the ability to enter the foreign market alone or are not equipped with the necessary equipment for export production are often united in consortia. These problems are solved by combining efforts and resources with similar companies in the domestic market for the joint implementation of foreign economic activity. Sometimes they create joint marketing groups to market their products. The most common association of enterprises of the agriculture sector for the sale of fruit, meat, wine and dairy products. The first stage, joint ventures, is attractive to partners from different countries by the fact that they can start joint activities in the country of a partner who has a current production or commercial enterprise, immediately without the construction of the necessary facilities and equipment installation in them. However, despite the many advantages and opportunities of joint international business, partners lose a share of their independence and all actions are forced to coordinate with each other, which complicates and lengthens the decision-making process. Moreover, in the process functioning of JV, usually one partner becomes more powerful and absorbs weak. However, in official documents, as a rule, appears the wording mergers of firms, not takeover, as the latter can humiliate the national pride, yes, of work firm. According to a number of consulting firms, the association of companies is rational to start not with production, but with engineering, marketing and commercial operations. At the same time, the efficiency of combining these areas can double the efficiency of combining production facilities. The decision to merge is made after careful calculations and negotiations which last 4 months. Approval of the association occurs in the following sequence. First is definition of a strategic action plan. Second is harmonization of the management structure with a balanced distribution of board seats, headquarters and R&D centers. Valuation of the assets of the partner uniting on one country. Approval of the merger with the state of the merging companies. You can see the main characteristics of the international business in different countries, industrialized countries, developing countries, and Eastern Europe and UIS. It's many differences between, for example, direction of the industry, or by type of ownership of enterprises, or by target market segments, and by legal basis. You can see it in this table. Okay. So, third question is features of functions of MNC in modern conditions and forms of management organization of international companies. An international company, as you know, is a commercial organization that systematically practices international marketing, which includes branches located in different countries, and its top management makes decisions based on global opportunities and goals. According to Majaro's typology, the following organization structures can be used for companies involved in international business, like micropyramid, umbrella, and interglomerate. Macropyramid is a company that has a well-defined strategy center from which the generated centralized solution distribute to other divisions of the company. The main characteristics of this type of international companies are strategic planning is carried out centrally. Local managers must work within strict standards. The activities of the company as whole is focused on results. Marketing efforts are often aimed on standardization of marketing mix. The firm may prove inflexible to effectively carry out operations under the influence of local foreign environment. This type is used only by strong TNC like Coca-Cola or Gillette. The umbrella structure assumes a differentiation approach of the international company to foreign target markets, which implies a fairly high autonomy of foreign divisions, including at the level of strategic decision-making. The main advantage of this structure is flexibility, and it is used for differentiated market strategy of an international company. The main characteristics of the organization structure of the international company, such as umbrella, are limited by the number of indicators defined by the Center for Strategic Goals in terms of profit growth and profit of investment. Local managers have a fairly high degree of freedom in interpreting these indicators. The tendency to autonomy and self-sufficiency of foreign units, the tendency to differentiate local strategies units, common conflicts of interest such as center-periphery. Autonomy can lead to competition between companies' sisters, and foreign units often lose confidence in the effectiveness and professionalism of the service of the central office. Model interglomerate suggests that in the main headquarters concentrated strategic management conducted a study of the strategies, plans, adapt specific decisions, and control over their execution. At the same time, the company's divisions have greater freedom of strategic choice and can in turn be organized either as macro-pyramids or as umbrellas in the foreign markets. Only strategic management is concentrated at headquarters in country A. Strategies are justified, plans are developed, specific decisions are made in their implementation, monitored. These units can be structurally organized as either macropyramid or as umbrella, I say about it, yes. The main characteristics of interglomerate are the headquarters manage the finances, manipulating the money regardless of the type and geographical location of the business, a very small central office, mostly high-end consultants. Strong connection between the center and subsidiaries in vertical, yes. A very weak link between siblings. The organization as a whole is controlled by a handful of persons operating from the center, the location of which allows you to conveniently solve issues of taxes, finance, or logistics. Interglomerate and macropyramid clearly attracted to the case of TNCs, and umbrella can manifest itself in a growing, medium, and small business. According to Brook typology, there are 5 types of international companies. Type A is directive type. Top management of the head office of the company of this type has a directive communication with foreign subsidiaries. That is, managers of the head office are responsible for functional activities on an international scale. Type B is a geographical type. Management relations from the top management of the head office are mediated by local managers on geographical markets. Type C is a commodity type. Commodity group managers have direct control over DC. Type D matrix type. Managers of subsidiaries are responsible for geographical areas, product groups, and functional relationships. The country manager is the head office for dispatch of all communications. And type E, project type, creation of several project groups on functional tasks. Views on the development of the strategy of modern MNCs depend significantly on their overall assessment of the international business environment. The objective tendency of development of regional economic grouping serves as a basis for one of the approaches explaining conditions of formation and development of MNC model of OMA triad. The triad refers to the markets of United States of America, Japan, and Europe. According to Omaye, the classic MNC model should be revised due to globalization of products and markets, rapid technological progress, and non-protectionism. In his opinion, the new type of MNC is a triple enterprise whose main distinguishing feature is a strong position in the markets of the triad. Due to the difference of the markets of the USA, Japan, and Europe, as well as protectionist barriers, the triple MNC should be considered as local in each region. In this regard, Omaye represents this type of MNC as having a very small headquarters, located most conveniently to communicate with regional centers in Tokyo, New York, and Frankfurt, for example. Styles of behavior of firms in the international market are ethnocentric orientation assumes that the practice of marketing is determined by the experience of the domestic market, and that any activity on the international market, as polycentric orientation, implies that the market system has gained some experience in foreign markets, but finds little similarity between them and tries to deal with them individually. The regional orientation assumes that the system possesses good knowledge on the market within this region, finds similarity and tries to work to them according to the general program of marketing. The geocentric orientation implies that there is global experience, standardized, possibly globally used products, and desire to promote their marketing worldwide through coordinate efforts. You can see it in the table: ethnocentric, polycentric, geocentric, and region-centric. Yes? Different main goals, different goal settings, different structure, and different culture. Yes? Okay. Every international business firm has to face various issues related to organization policies. These organizational issues are to be addressed carefully in order to keep the business healthy and profitable. Although there are numerous issues, both small and big, we will primarily concentrate only on the major issues that need to be addressed. Okay, let me speak about centralization and decentralization. Centralization is the systematic and consistent reservation of authority at central points in the organization. In centralization, the decision-making capability lies with a few selected employees. The implications of centralization are: decision-making power is reserved at the top level, operating authority lies with the mid-level managers, operation at lower level is directed by the top level. Almost every important decisions and operational activity at the lower level are taken by the top management. Decentralization is a systematic distribution of authority at all levels of management. In a decentralized entity, major decisions are taken by the top management to build the policies concerning the entire organization. Remaining authority is delegated to the mid and lower level managers. Use of subsidiary board of directors. International firms, especially the fully owned ones, usually have a board of directors to oversee and direct the top level management. The major responsibilities of board members are to advise, approve and appraise local management, help the management unit in providing response to local conditions, assist the top management in strategic planning, and supervise the firm's ethical issues. Organizational structures. Any international business organization, dependent on its requirements and operations, would have an organization structure to streamline all its process. In this section, we will try to understand some of the major types of organizational structures. Initial division structures are common in subsidiaries, export firms and on-site manufacturers. Subsidiaries that follow this kind of organization structure include firms where the main export is expertise, for example, consultants and financial firms. Export firms include those having technologically advanced products and manufacturing units. Companies having on-site manufacturing operations follow this structure to cut down their costs. This one is initial division structure. Next one is international division structure. This structure is built to handle all international operations by a division created for control. It is often adopted by firms that are still in the development strategies of international business operation. Advantages of this structure are international attitude gets the attention of top management, united approach to international operations, and disadvantage are separates domestic managers from their international counterparts, and difficulty in ideating and acting strategically and in allocating resources globally. This one is international division structure. You can see it, yes. Global product division. Global product divisions include domestic divisions that are allowed to take global responsibility for product groups. These divisions operate as profit centers. Advantages are helps manage product, technology, customer diversity, ability to cater to local needs. Marketing, production and finance gets a coordinated approach on a product by direct global basis. Disadvantages are duplication of facilities and staff personnel within divisions. Division manager gets attracted to geographic prospects and neglect long-term goals. And division managers spending huge to tap local, not international markets. Yes, this one is global product division. Next one is global area division. Global area division structure is used for operations that are controlled on a geographic rather than a product basis. Firms in mature business with select product lines use it. Advantages are international operations and domestic operations remain at the same level. Global division managers manage business operations in selected geographic area. Ability to reduce cost per unit and price competitively. And disadvantage are difficult to align products emphasis in a geographically oriented manner. And new R&D efforts are often ignored, as sale in mature market is where the focus is. A global area division structure, you can see it. Okay. Next one is global functional division. This structure is to primarily organize global operation based on function. Product orientation is secondary for firms using global function division structure. Advantages are it emphasis on functional leadership, centralized control, and a linear managerial staff. Favorable for firms that require tight, centralized coordination and control over integrated production mechanisms. Helps those firms that need to transport products and raw materials between geographic areas. And the disadvantages are not suitable for all type of business, of course, yes, and applicable to only oil and mining firms, difficult to coordinate manufacturing and marketing processes, managing multiple product lines can be challenging as production and marketing are not integrated. Yes, this one, global functional division structure. Okay. Mixed matrix, it's last one. The structure combines global product area and functional arrangement, and it has a cross-cutting committee structure. Sorry. Advantages can be designed to meet individual needs, promotes an integrated strategic approach tailored to local needs and priorities, and disadvantages are complex structure, coordinating and getting everyone to work toward common goals becomes difficult, and too many independent groups in this structure. You can see it in this slide, mixed organization structure. Control mechanisms play an important role of any business organization, without which the roles of managers get constrained. Control is required for achieving the goals in a predefined manner because it provides the instruments which influence the performance and decision-making process of an organization. Control is in fact concerned with the regulations applied to the activities within an organization to attain expected results in establishing policies, plans and practices. Control mechanisms can be set according to functions, product attributes, geographical attributes and their overall strategic and financial objectives. Objectives of control. There are three major objectives for having a control mechanism in a international firm. They are to get data and clues for the top management, for monitoring, evaluating and adjusting their decision and operational objectives, to get clues based on which common objectives can be set to get optimum coordination among units, and to evaluate the performance metrics of managers and at each level. In 1916, Henry Fayol defined management control as follows. Control of an undertaking consists of seeing that everything is being carried out in accordance with the plan which has been adopted, the orders which have been given, and the principles which have been laid down. Its object is to point out mistakes in order that they may be rectified and prevented from recurring. Types of control mechanisms are personal controls, bureaucratic controls, output controls and cultural controls. What it means? For example, personal controls are achieved via personal contact with their subordinates. It is the most widely used type of control mechanism in small firms for providing direct supervision of operational and employee management. Bureaucratic controls, these are associated with the inherent bureaucracy in an international firm. This control mechanism is composed of some system of rules and procedures to direct and influence the actions of sub-units. Output controls are used to set goals for the subsidiaries to achieve their targeting outputs in various departments. And cultural controls is a key for deriving maximum output and profitability, and hence cultural control is a very important attribute to measure the overall efficiency of a firm. Approaches to control mechanism, these are discussed below. Market approach. The market approach says that the external market forces shape the control mechanism and the behavior of the management within the organization units of an MNC. Rules approach. The rules approach applies to a rules-oriented organization where a greater part of decision-making is applied to strongly impose their organizational rules and procedures. And the corporate culture approach is an organization that follow the corporate culture approach. The employees internalize the goals by building a strong set of values. Yes. Reporting culture is a powerful control mechanism. It is used while allocating resources or while the top management wants to monitor the performance of the firm and the employees. Visits to subsidiaries. Visiting the subsidiaries is a common control approach, yes, but the disadvantage is that all the information cannot be exchanged via visits. Management performance, evaluation management performance is used to evaluate the subsidiary managers for their subsidiaries' performance. However, as decision-making authority is different from the operational managers, some aspects to control cannot be managed via the approach. And cost and accounting is a financial approach. It arises due to the difference in expenditure among various units of the subsidiaries. International firms have to face several constraints based on which they modify their control mechanisms in every country. Here is a list of major constraints that affect an organization in setting its managerial control mechanism. Distance, geographical distance, and various forms of cultural disparities is a big constraint of control systems. Diversity. It is hard to apply a common control system to everyone due to diversity. Degree of uncertainty. Data relating to the reporting mechanism may be inaccurate and incomplete, raising serious challenges to control mechanisms. That's all. Thank you very much. See you later. Bye.